That little brown bottle sitting in the back of your medicine cabinet, you know, the one you probably haven't touched since the last time you scraped your knee? Well, it turns out doctors do not even recommend using hydrogen peroxide on wounds anymore. The Cleveland Clinic says it can actually slow down healing by damaging healthy cells. So does that mean you should toss it out? Absolutely not. Because while hydrogen peroxide may have lost its spot in the first aid kit, it has earned a permanent place in the kitchen. So what exactly is hydrogen peroxide? In simple terms, it is just water with an extra oxygen atom. Its chemical formula is H2O2. That extra oxygen atom is what makes it so useful. It is a powerful oxidizer, meaning it reacts with organic material on contact. It kills bacteria, fungi, and the viruses. It breaks down grease and grime. And when it is done working, it decomposes into nothing more than water and oxygen. No toxic residue, no harsh chemical smell, nothing that could harm your family or your food. And the best part? A bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide, which is the standard concentration you will find at any drugstore, grocery store, or big box retailer, costs about $1, sometimes even less. Compare that to the overpriced, chemical-laden kitchen cleaners lining store shelves, and you start to realize just how much money you have been leaving on the table. So today, we are going to walk through 14 ways you can use hydrogen peroxide in your kitchen that will save you money, keep things cleaner, and maybe even make your food last longer. Some of these are going to surprise you. Let's get into it. Number 1. Wash fruits and vegetables. Here's something most people don't think about. When you bring home fruits and vegetables from the grocery store, they've been handled by who knows how many people. They may carry dirt, pesticide residue, wax coatings, and even harmful bacteria like E. coli or Salmonella. Simply rinsing them under running water helps, but it doesn't get rid of everything. This is where hydrogen peroxide comes in. Fill your kitchen sink with cold water and add about a quarter cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Let your produce soak for about 20 to 30 minutes, then rinse everything thoroughly under clean, cool water. The peroxide works to break down pesticide residue and kill bacteria on the surface of your fruits and vegetables. If you prefer a quicker method, you can mix equal parts water and 3% hydrogen peroxide in a dark spray bottle. The dark bowl is important because light breaks down hydrogen peroxide and weakens its germ-killing ability. Spray your produce, let it sit for a minute or two, and then rinse under cold water. Either way, you end up with cleaner, safer food without spending a dime on fancy produce washes. And here's something worth noting. The FDA has approved the use of hydrogen peroxide for commercial food processing applications. So this isn't some fringe idea. It's a method that's backed by science and used by the food industry itself. The key is to always use food-grade or standard 3% hydrogen peroxide and to rinse your produce well afterward. Number 2. Extend the shelf life of your produce. This one is a game changer, especially if you are tired of throwing away lettuce that went slimy after just a few days. One of the main reasons fruits and vegetables spoil so quickly is bacteria. Bacteria and fungal spores start breaking down produce almost immediately after you bring it home. By giving your produce a hydrogen peroxide wash before storing it, you are removing a significant amount of those spoilage-causing microorganisms. Research has shown that hydrogen peroxide-based sanitizers can noticeably extend the freshness of leafy greens and herbs. One commercial greenhouse even reported that using a hydrogen peroxide wash extended the shelf life of their basil by up to 4 weeks. For leafy greens like lettuce and spinach, try spraying them lightly with a solution of half a cup of water and 1 tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide before covering and refrigerating them. You will notice they stay crisp and fresh for significantly longer. That means fewer trips to the store and less food going straight into the trash. According to the USDA, the average American family of 4 wastes $1,500 worth of food every year. A huge chunk of that is produce that goes bad before anyone gets around to eating it. If something as cheap and simple as a hydrogen peroxide rinse can help you cut that waste even by a fraction, that is real money back in your pocket. Number 3, disinfect your cutting boards. Your cutting board is one of the germiest surfaces in your entire kitchen. Think about it. You are chopping raw chicken, slicing vegetables, dicing onions, all on the same surface. Hot, soapy water does a decent job, but it does not fully eliminate bacteria, especially on wooden boards where germs can hide deep in the grain and in knife grooves. Here is the fix. After washing your cutting board with soap and water as usual, pour some 3% hydrogen peroxide directly onto the surface. Use a clean sponge to spread it around, covering the top, bottom, and sides. Let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. You will see it fizz. That is the peroxide reacting with organic matter and killing bacteria. Then rinse it under water and pat it dry. This is especially important if your cutting board has come in contact with raw meat, poultry, or fish. Cross-contamination from these foods is one of the leading causes of foodborne illness in American households. Unlike bleach, which can be harsh on wood and leave behind a strong chemical smell, hydrogen peroxide is gentler on the material and breaks down into nothing but water and oxygen. It is one of the safest and most effective ways to sanitize your boards without damaging them. If you want to take it a step further, you can do a 2-step disinfection. First, spray the board with white vinegar. Then follow up with hydrogen peroxide. When used one after the other, but never mixed together in the same bottle, these two substances create an incredibly effective disinfecting combination that kills far more bacteria than either one alone. Let's be honest, kitchen sponges are disgusting. Studies have found that the average kitchen sponge harbors more bacteria than a toilet seat, and yet we use them every day to clean the dishes we eat off of. Replacing sponges constantly gets expensive, so here is a better option. Place your sponge in a bowl or small container and pour in enough hydrogen peroxide to submerge it. Let it soak for about 10 minutes. You will see it start to bubble and fizz, which means it is working. It is killing the bacteria and breaking down the organic matter trapped in the sponge. After soaking, flip the sponge over and let it sit for a few more minutes. Then rinse it out thoroughly and let it air dry. You can do this every few days to keep your sponges fresh and sanitary for much longer before you need to replace them. Think about it. If a new sponge costs you $2 or $3 and you are going through one every week, that adds up fast. By sanitizing with peroxide regularly, you can stretch the life of each sponge significantly. The same method works for dish brushes, basting brushes, and any other scrubbing tool you use in the kitchen. Just soak them in peroxide, rinse, and air dry. Some people even keep a small container of hydrogen peroxide next to their kitchen sink and store their dish brush in it between uses. This way, the brush stays disinfected at all times and never develops that sour, mildewy smell. If you have a glass or ceramic stovetop, you know the struggle. Burnt-on food, grease splatters, and mystery stains that seem to become one with the surface. Most stovetop cleaners are expensive and loaded with chemicals, but hydrogen peroxide combined with baking soda does the job just as well, if not better. Sprinkle a generous layer of baking soda over the dirty areas of your stovetop. Then spray or drizzle 3% hydrogen peroxide over the baking soda. You'll hear it fizz. That's the combination working to loosen the grime. Let the mixture sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then use a soft cloth or sponge to scrub in circular motions. The baking soda acts as a gentle abrasive to lift stuck-on residue, while the peroxide cuts through the grease. Wipe everything clean with a damp cloth, and you'll be looking at a stovetop that practically sparkles. No expensive specialty cleaners needed. Here is a bonus tip. This same baking soda and hydrogen peroxide method works great on the inside of your oven. Just apply the paste to the greasy spots, let it sit for about 20 minutes, and wipe it away. You'll save yourself from having to buy those harsh oven cleaners that fill your kitchen with fumes. Whether you have laminate, granite, or tile countertops, they are bound to pick up stains over time. Coffee rings, juice spills, tomato sauce splatters, they all leave their mark. And while most people reach for a chemical-based spray cleaner, hydrogen peroxide can handle many of these stains without the harsh ingredients. For everyday stains, spray 3% hydrogen peroxide directly onto the affected area and let it sit for a few minutes. Then wipe it away with a damp cloth. For tougher stains, make a paste with hydrogen peroxide and baking soda. Apply it to the stain, let it sit for about 10 minutes, then scrub gently and wipe clean. One important note: hydrogen peroxide has a mild bleaching effect. So if you have very dark-colored countertops, test it on a small hidden area first to make sure it does not lighten the surface. For lighter countertops, it works like a charm and leaves them looking bright and clean. Number 7, disinfect the inside of your refrigerator. Your refrigerator is where you store the food your family eats, so it makes sense to keep it clean. But spills happen, leftovers get forgotten, and before you know it, you have a sticky shelf and a mystery smell coming from the back corner. Hydrogen peroxide makes cleaning the fridge simple and safe. Spray 3% hydrogen peroxide onto a paper towel or a clean cloth, and wipe down the shelves, drawers, and walls of your fridge. Because it breaks down into just water and oxygen, you do not have to worry about chemical residue coming into contact with your food. It kills bacteria and removes grime without leaving behind any harsh fumes or flavors. For stubborn spills, spray the peroxide directly onto the spot. Let it fizz for a few minutes and then wipe it clean. Do this once a month or so, and your fridge will stay fresh and sanitary. It is a small habit that takes maybe 10 minutes, but it makes a real difference in keeping your food storage area hygienic and your family safe from harmful bacteria. Number 8, clean and deodorize the garbage can. You take the trash out, but the smell stays behind. Sound familiar? Kitchen garbage cans are a breeding ground for bacteria, and that lingering odor is proof. Even with a liner, juices and bits of food find their way to the bottom of the can and create a smell that no amount of air freshener can cover up. Here is how to fix it. After removing the trash bag, wash the inside of the can with soap and water. Then spray the entire interior, bottom, sides, and lid with a solution of equal parts water and 3% hydrogen peroxide. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, then wipe it dry. The peroxide kills the odor causing bacteria and disinfects the surface, so your trash can actually smell clean for once. Do this every couple of weeks, and you will not have to deal with that nasty garbage smell ever again. Honestly, this is one of those chores people just do not think to do. They will scrub the countertops and mop the floors, but completely ignore the inside of the trash can. Once you start cleaning it regularly with peroxide, you will wonder how you ever put up with that smell. If your kitchen has tile flooring or a tile backsplash, you've probably noticed that the grout lines between the tiles get dingy over time. Grout is porous, which means it absorbs grease, dirt, and moisture like a sponge, and once it gets stained, regular mopping does not do much. Hydrogen peroxide is one of the best grout cleaners out there. Slightly dampen the grout lines with 3% hydrogen peroxide, then sprinkle baking soda over the top. Grab an old toothbrush and scrub the grout in small circular motions. The combination of the peroxide and baking soda lifts out the embedded dirt and whitens the grout at the same time. Rinse with clean water and you will see a noticeable difference. For really stubborn discoloration, let the hydrogen peroxide and baking soda paste sit for 15 to 20 minutes before scrubbing. It takes a little elbow grease, but the results are worth it, and it is a whole lot cheaper than hiring a professional tile cleaner or buying specialty grout restoration products that can run you $10 or more a bottle. Number 10. Remove baked-on grease from pots and pans. We've all had that one pan with the layer of baked-on grease that just won't budge, no matter how long you soak it or how hard you scrub. Before you give up and throw it away, try hydrogen peroxide. Make a paste using baking soda and enough hydrogen peroxide to create a thick consistency. Spread it generously over the greasy areas of the pot or pan. Let it sit for at least 30 minutes or longer for really stubborn buildup. The peroxide helps break down the grease on a molecular level, while the baking soda provides gentle abrasion. After it's had time to work, scrub with a non-scratch sponge or brush. You'll be amazed at how much easier the grease comes off. Rinse the pan clean, and it'll look like it just came out of the box. This works especially well on baking sheets, casserole dishes, and the inside of ovens too. If you've got a stainless steel pot that has turned brown on the bottom from repeated heating, this paste is exactly what you need. It restores the original shine without scratching the surface, and it saves you from buying expensive stainless steel cleaners. Number 11. Sanitize lunch boxes and food containers. Plastic lunch boxes and food storage containers can develop a funky smell over time, especially if they have been sealed up with leftover food residue. That odor can be really hard to get rid of with regular dish soap alone. Spray the inside and outside of the lunchbox or container with 3% hydrogen peroxide. Let it sit for a few minutes, then wipe it down with a clean cloth. The peroxide kills the bacteria causing the smell and disinfects the surface without leaving behind any chemical taste or odor. This is a great habit to get into, especially if you pack lunches for your kids. You want to make sure those containers are actually clean, not just rinsed off. Do not forget about reusable water bottles while you are at it. Those narrow bottles are hard to clean properly, and bacteria loves to grow in dark, damp spaces. A good soak or spray with hydrogen peroxide will help keep them hygienic between deep washes. Number 12. Disinfect kitchen handles and high-touch surfaces. Think about how many times a day you touch the handle of your refrigerator, your oven door, your cabinet knobs, and your faucet. Now think about how often you actually clean those surfaces. Probably not as often as you should. These high-touch areas are some of the biggest germ hotspots in the kitchen, especially when someone in the household is sick. Keep a spray bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide handy and give these surfaces a quick wipe down daily. Spray it on, let it sit for a minute or two so it has time to kill the bacteria, and then wipe it off with a clean cloth. It's quick, it's effective, and it's a whole lot cheaper than buying disinfecting wipes. This is one of those small habits that can make a big difference in keeping your kitchen and your family healthier. According to a study by NSF International, Kitchen faucet handles and refrigerator handles are among the top, germiest items in the average American home. A daily wipe with peroxide takes less than a minute and costs practically nothing, but it can significantly reduce the spread of illness-causing bacteria in your household. Number 13, clean and freshen your dishwasher. A lot of people assume that because the dishwasher cleans dishes, it must be clean itself. Not true. Over time, food particles, grease, and soap scum build up inside the machine. Mold and mildew can also develop in the rubber seals and around the door. That is why your dishwasher sometimes has that musty smell. To freshen it up, pour about half a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide into the bottom of the empty dishwasher. You can also dip a cloth in hydrogen peroxide and wipe down the rubber gaskets and the edges of the door where grime tends to collect. Then run a hot water cycle with the dishwasher empty. The hydrogen peroxide will sanitize the interior, kill mold and mildew, and leave your machine smelling fresh. Do this once a month, and your dishwasher will not only smell better, but it will actually do a better job cleaning your dishes too. A cleaner machine means cleaner dishes. And considering how much you spend on dishwasher pods and rinse aids, keeping the machine itself in top shape is just common sense. Number 14, remove stains from kitchen towels and rags. Kitchen towels take a beating. Between wiping up spills, drying dishes, and handling hot pots, they end up stained, smelly, and dingy looking pretty fast. Bleach works, but it can weaken the fabric over time and leaves behind a strong chemical smell. Hydrogen peroxide is a gentler alternative. Add a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide to your washing machine along with your regular detergent when you wash your kitchen towels. It acts as a natural whitener and deodorizer, lifting stains and brightening the fabric without the harshness of chlorine bleach. For particularly stubborn stains, like tomato sauce or coffee, pre-treat the spot by pouring a little hydrogen peroxide directly onto the stain before tossing the towel in the wash. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, then launder as usual. Your towels will come out looking and smelling noticeably fresher. This also works great on cloth napkins, aprons, and oven mitts. Basically any fabric item in your kitchen that tends to absorb stains and odors over time. It is a simple swap that will keep your kitchen linens looking newer for longer, and it saves you from having to replace them as often. And there you have it, 14 ways to put that humble bottle of hydrogen peroxide to work in your kitchen. It disinfects, it deodorizes, it cleans, and it costs next to nothing. Before you go out and spend money on specialty cleaners and overpriced products, check if hydrogen peroxide can do the job first. 9 times out of 10 it can. Just remember a few important safety tips. Always use the standard 3% concentration you find at any drugstore or grocery store. Higher concentrations are available, but they can be dangerous if not handled properly, and they are not necessary for household cleaning. Store your hydrogen peroxide in a cool, dark place, preferably in the original brown bottle, because exposure to light causes it to break down and lose its effectiveness over time. And whatever you do, never mix hydrogen peroxide with vinegar in the same container. When combined directly, they form a corrosive substance called peracetic acid, which can irritate your skin, your eyes, and your lungs. Using them one after the other on a surface is fine and actually very effective. Just do not combine them in the same spray bottle. If you are looking for an easy way to get started, pick up a couple of bottles on your next grocery run and fill a dark spray bottle with straight 3% hydrogen peroxide. Keep it under your sink for quick wipe downs and cleaning tasks. Once you see how well it works, and how much money it saves you, you will wonder why you did not start using it sooner. This channel is all about sharing useful, common sense tips that help you stop wasting things and stretch your money further. We post many more ideas like this, so if you find these videos helpful, subscribe and stay up to date, and your wallet will thank you.